Welcome to Colored Pencil Basics. This is my third tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to talk about erasers and a couple of other tools that you might find useful. My goal is to help you find tools that you think would work for you and to save you some time and energy and money as you get started. The first one I want to share with you is called the Mono Zero Eraser, made by Tombow. Tombow is a great company, and they sell brush pens, they sell all kinds of art supplies, and pretty much anything by them is going to be good quality. This is a wonderful eraser because it can get into real small areas, and so it's very good for people who work with smaller details. This eraser part is refillable, and you can buy the refills at the art store or on Amazon. And the other amazing thing about this eraser is that it can also be a very special tool for blending. And I'm going to talk more about blending in future videos, but I just wanted to show you how I've used it. And these are all from coloring pages, from coloring books. And I will put them online. The names of them I'll put down below to let you know in case it's a page you might be interested in doing. But as you can see here where I blended, I have many ways of blending, but part of it is that I'm constantly using this eraser because I don't want to have lines. I want to see everything kind of blended together to make it look more natural. And then in this one that I did also very similarly, I think in the beginning, some of my areas in here were too dark, and I just went over it with the eraser and lightened different areas and literally used it as a tool, and it just makes it so easy. So that's the Tombow Mono. Tombow also makes one like this, and this is a sand eraser. This has a lot of grit to it. And when you use this eraser, it's important to use the type of paper that's going to have some tooth to it, some substance, so that you don't tear the paper. In my second video, I talked about paper and explained about tooth. And I will show you, for example, on this very green area here, when you go to use this eraser, it literally wears away some of the paper. And it's very important, once you have those shavings, to use a little soft brush of some sort to get the shavings off the page. If you use your hand, which is kind of human tendency to do, it's very easy to, when you rub it with your hand, I would see green streaks going down the page, so you wouldn't want that to mess up a piece of work that you've been doing. So that little one that I was using, I really like. It's from Sephora. It's a makeup brush. It's called Crease. And then it has a P and two ones after, a P11. And that's that one. And this is a bigger version. I got this at a drugstore. And a place like Michael's might have something like this. Some people will use a drafting brush. They sell them in the art stores. They sell them at Home Depot. For bigger pieces, that can be very helpful. And this is good for graphite pencils, colored pencils, anything that's going to leave some residue. And you want to make sure that that's not going to be a problem. So that is the Mono Sanded. Also important when you're doing any kind of pencil work or erasing that you use a substantial board underneath. I have found that if I work on a pad where I don't tear the page out and I work right on the pad, or if I work on foam board, it's too soft. And when I try to make very fine lines, it doesn't happen. The lines become too wide. It's very subtle, but I get a lot better results when I work on something hard. This is just a simple clipboard, and they're very easy to get, very cheap, and it's nice too because you can clip your paper to it if you want to for some reason. So that's another little tip there. This is an eraser made by Pentel. These, I think I got this at Walgreens. This is one that it's a very long eraser material in there, and you simply press down like that to get it out, and then it retracts. Very inexpensive. It's called the Pentel Eraser ZE22 Click Eraser, and that's obviously for bigger areas. The next eraser that I have here is, this one's made by Faber-Castell. A couple of companies make them, and it's a kneadable eraser. This, when you open it up, is like putty. It's soft and pliable, and you take pieces off of it, and you can rub it around in your hand and make it whatever size you want. I don't use it because I work on such small areas. It doesn't really help me, but the times I have used it, it was helpful when I was doing clouds. I put down a lot of blue with my colored pencils, different shades of blue, and then when I used that eraser, I just pressed down with it like that in different places, and the white started to appear underneath. And it was kind of a neat way to make clouds. It also works well on smooth paper with graphite pencils. This particular paper that I'm working on now and that I like is the Bristol Vellum, and I talk about that in my paper tutorial. Another eraser that's very special, I think, this is also made by Faber-Castell. This has a very gritty end, very similar to the one I showed you here, very similar to the Tombow sanded. And then it has a softer end. And when you put it in the pencil sharpener, the soft end becomes even more flexible, almost bendable sometimes. This is also very nice for getting into small areas. You can see where the point is there. The only thing you have to be careful with this is that when you use it, if you're using it on white paper, it could leave a pink residue. So you have to make sure of what colors you're using it over, that it's not going to mess up your work. What I love about this is this gritty end, because I can really get into small areas with this. This is available on Amazon with the two edges, the two sides to it. More popular in art stores is this one by Faber-Castell that only has the pink end. It does not have the gritty end. And I think the gritty end is really valuable. So the one online, I looked it up this morning, was $7.98 for one. But I have a gentleman that I've taken some tutorials in pastel pencils from in England, and he sells them on his website. And his website is Colin, C-O-L-I-N, Bradley, art.com, and I'll put that in the details for you, his information. And his were $2.45 each, with I think about $6 shipping from England. So I was ordering some this morning and found that it was worth the 4 or 5 days to wait, because $7.98 was a lot to pay for one. So that is my other favorite eraser. Now I want to show you one that's really neat. This is, sometimes if you're going to be doing a bigger area, it's helpful to have, this one is rechargeable. Some of them come with batteries. This is an eraser, but it's going to have a lot of power. Watch this. You hold this down. There's the little button. And watch what it does. It will erase. You just have to be very careful, because it will go through the paper if you press too hard. See how that's erasing? And the neat thing about this one is, because a number of companies make them, this comes with this size eraser. These are all the refills you can put in there. The little skinny ones, a recharging cord, and remember I said it's helpful to have a brush? The kit comes with a little brush. And this, believe it or not, was right under $15 on Amazon. This one is made by AFMAT, A-F-M-A-T. The one by Derwent I had tried, but I found it to be very cumbersome. When I tried to press the button, I had to hold it down with my thumb and try and maneuver it, and the button was hard to press. But this one, I'm pressing very gently. doesn't take much. So I really think this one is great. And I'm recharging it now on my charger. This is I found this charger to be very good. I use it for a number of things, and this is also on Amazon. It lasts a lot of hours, even charging my phone or my iPad. So that's something I would also recommend. The other thing I wanted to show you with the original Tombow Mono, with this one, this is neat. Watch this. I do a lot of blending. I don't like to have the lines show. I like to be able to blend one color into another. And you can see here the dark and the light. And what I've done here is I'm gradually pulling that dark towards the light and pulling the light towards the dark, and I'm using my eraser to blend it. So even though there are lots of ways to blend, this Tombow eraser can really do it nicely in the right situation. So I wanted to tell you about that. Then I have a couple of other supplies that I like. This is a rechargeable light, which is pretty neat. This is called Lumino Light. Let's see if I can angle this up so you can see it. There's the light. It clips on. There's the light part. And you can either clip it on or it stands up. If you need to get it closer to an area and the clip doesn't work, you can stand it up and it can light it that way. Once again, it's rechargeable. It comes with a recharging cord, so that's very helpful. And then the last couple of things I want to show you have to do with when your pencils start to get real small. Once you start working with them, you're going to see that they start to get used up. And they make something called a pencil extender. So that one that normally would be ready for the trash has some more life left to it. See how that goes in there? Fits right in there like that. This one is made by Generals, and it's a 205 M like in Mary, and it's perfect for the Prismacolor. It does not hold the Faber-Castell Polychromos. It wouldn't go in there. But I have another one, which I find a little more cumbersome to hold, so I don't use it as often. But it's made by Derwent, and it looks like this. Pencil goes in there. You just put the pencil in as far as you want it to go, and then when you twist it, it tightens it so your pencil is snug in there. So that's how that one works. And because it's adjustable, the Polychromos goes in there fine. So that is that. I think I've covered everything I want to show you in this video. I'm going to do one on sharpeners next, because now that you get your pencils, you get your paper, your erasers, you're good to go. There are so many sharpeners out there that I want to give you some idea, after my having probably gone through about 15 of them, which one or two I've picked out just to keep simple. Simplicity is good. Simplicity is good. And then once you do it more, it's fun to kind of experiment on your own and see what works best for you. So I hope this has been helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.